my YouTube channel. My name is Manveen, and in this channel I'll be sharing you some tips and tricks into how I got into the best B schools across the world. I managed to write a lot of applications. I applied to a lot of B schools. I get into most of them with some pretty good scholarships, and to go through that process I went across a lot of material, lot of YouTube videos, and I was blank during the start of my application. But I want to share my experience, merge all my experiences, all my understandings, my learning, the tips, the tricks which I've shared with my friends. Every day I'm getting so many calls, how to get into this school, how to get into that school. So it's best that I create some YouTube videos that may help you in future. So if you are an aspiring MBA candidate, just wait and till the end of this video and just understand the process so that you do not have to watch a lot of videos. And best of luck for your application. So in this video I'll be focusing on how I got into Rotman, University of Toronto. For those of you who don't know, Rotman is one of the best B schools in Canada and across the globe as well. And I'll tell you how I got into the school, and that too with a scholarship of 25,000 Canadian dollars. So in this video I'll focus on 6 main things. Number 1, essay questions. Number 2, interview questions. Number 3, round in which I applied. Number 4, fees and scholarships. And number 5, and the most important, tips and tricks. So stay tuned till the end of this video. So let's start with point number 1. So I'll read the essay question for you. Admitted students stand out by doing interesting things with their personal and professional lives. Something we describe as the spike factor. What are things that you have done in your life that demonstrate passion, grit, resilience, innovation, drive, ambition, and more? Yeah. So simple yet a difficult question. So how I went ahead with this question was I made a list of all the things, pretty interesting things that I've done in my life. I just made a list of all the things and I started writing about each point. Like I did this, I did that, and focus that which one do you think is the most interesting. Don't just focus on your merit work, your marks or your percentage says it all. Just give them something else apart from your marks, your merits. Just give them something else, because they are looking for a diverse group of people, diverse group of admitted students that they are going to get selected in the college. So you have to focus on something different, and I went ahead with 5 to 6 points, and then I selected the top 3. I'll just give you the overview of what I selected. Is number 1, my love for travel and how I like to meet new people, so I shared a very interesting story with them. Number 2, how I do some volunteer activities, and I shared a story associated with that as well. And number 3 was not a story but a personality trait. So I went ahead, I wrote down a list of personality traits that reflects me, and then selected the most relevant, and it was like cognitive flexibility, and I just wrote, I supported that quality. And whatever you write, just make sure you support it with some kind of story. As a reader, just make sure that, suppose when you are reading something, you like it when it's in the form of a story, so give them a story. They are waiting for it. Give them something interesting about yourself and they'll love to read it. And make sure you attach some photos or anything that complements with your stories. So that is how you'll tackle question 1. So now let's focus on point number 2, interview questions. So after my application was selected, I got an interview invite. So I'll tell you how I prepare for those interview questions. Uh, just be prepared with why Rotman. Just tell them why do you want to be in Rotman. Tell them why you. Tell them about why the field that you chose. I mean, if you chose entrepreneurship or supply chain management or whatever the field that you want to go in, why do you want to go in that field? I just tell you, I told them the truth. I am an engineer. I want to shift from an engineer from a technical into manager role. I supported some other points as well. So just give them why you want to do an MBA, and that too in Rotman. There were some other conditional based questions. Suppose if you were in this situation, what would you have done? Tell me a time. Tell me a time when this happened. Tell me a time when that happened. Tell me a time when you resolved a conflict. Just be prepared with some stories. Just don't think that at the time of interview you'll just go ahead and give them, you'll just remember a story and then you'll tell to them. No, just prepare yourself. There are some pretty basic conditional based questions: time of conflict, your failures, your achievements. So if you want, write in the comment section. I'll tell you what all questions you should prepare for interview, but I'll just tell you in this video that be prepared. The interview was for 20 minutes and it was a very, it was going at a very good speed because I've already prepared for all the questions. Just don't learn any answer, just write bullet points and then be yourself. Just speak out, just have a normal conversation with them. They'll love it when you have a normal conversation, and what you feel, you should just say that, and make sure you have a smile on your face throughout the interview. Very important. And make sure you are very confident. So now let's move on to point number 3, that is the round in which I applied. So before moving, I'll just like to say that the Rotman, the average GMAT score varies between 650 to 670. So make sure when you apply to Rotman you have a score, GMAT score above the average, so that you have a pretty good chance of getting into Rotman. And talking about the rounds, there are basically 5 rounds in which you can apply. There's early round, then round 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's highly recommended that all the international applicants should apply before round 3. The round in which I applied was round 1. I was not prepared. My essay question was not prepared till early round, so I just decided not to apply in early round. So make sure if your application is not done or if your essay is not prepared, just don't apply for the sake of applying in early rounds. Yeah, it's said that you should apply in early rounds, but make sure your essay or your everything is completed before you apply to it. So I skipped early round. I made sure my application is completed, my essay question is completed. So it was in draft stage in early round, so I didn't apply for it. I applied in round 1. Now let's move on to point number 4, that is fees and scholarship. So the fees for full-time MBA program for Canadian citizens or permanent residents is around 95,000 Canadian dollars, and that for international students is around 136,000 Canadian dollars. It may change from year to year. And regarding scholarship, I got 25,000 Canadian dollars scholarship, which is pretty great. I negotiated on my scholarship, so if you want to know how I did that, write in the comment section and I'll create a video for that as well. Now let's move on to the most important in the last section of this video, that is tips and tricks. Number one, I'd say, is do a good research about the college. Make sure to give it a personal touch. I mean, just I did some research, I talked to alumni, I did some research, and I used words like self development labs and such things. So make sure that you do a pretty good research about the college and try to use them in your essays or interviews wherever it's applicable. Like, you can say that I want I want to go to Rotman for some personal developments, and there's a self development lab at Rotman which attracts me, and this is why I want to join Rotman. Just do your research. Make sure to talk to alumni or the first or second year students. They are open to it. Reach out to them through LinkedIn and talk to them how I can outstand my application, and make sure to use some terms or some words which are not available on website. And first of all, make sure that you have gone through the entire website, right? Second is, at the end of interviews, they ask, do you want to ask any questions? Make sure you do ask. Don't ask general question, what is your average GMAT score, or how many students, what is the class size, or what is the percentage of females. That is already available on website. Don't ask or don't waste time asking such questions. Make sure that you ask intelligent questions. I mean, show them that you have done research. Like, for example, you can say, I talked to such and such person from Rotman. He told me that this is what is done at Rotman. I understood something from him, but I would like to know more because I'm interested. I understood about self development lab. I want to understand more about the self development lab. Will I be able to upgrade my skills on this? Just make sure to ask intelligent questions so that they know that you have done a good research, and impress them with these questions as well. Do not ask any questions which are already available on website. Basic questions, okay? And feel free to mention any person you have had a word with. Don't just name that person, just tell them that I had a word with the alumni or second year students and I found the curriculum interesting and this and that. Just give that a personal touch. Second thing that I want to say is that in instruction, language medium, you know, there's an option. You can either give IELTS, or you can get the letter of instructions letter prepared from your college. Just ask them. So if you have done your undergrad from a college in which the letter medium of instructions was English, make sure that you prepare that letter so that you, whenever they ask you during the applications to support why do you want IELTS waiver, just upload that letter. So this is a very important tip. I have not given my IELTS score to so many colleges because I have uploaded this letter. So this is a very important tip for all you out there. And last thing which I want to say is that show some other side of yourself. Just don't focus on studies or anything. Just show them why you belong at Rotman, and believe me, you will be able to get the admission letter just like I did. And all the best for your application. And if you have any questions, make sure you write them in the comment section. I'll answer them. And if you like the video, hit subscribe, like button, and I'll be making more such videos for you so that by the time you start your application, you feel pretty comfortable and just enjoy this experience. You'll always remember this experience throughout your life. All the best.